I did some extreme dieting and literally blew up like a human balloon and landed myself in the ER. My entire body looked like this. I had whole body edema with swelling of fluids surrounding all of my organs trapped under my skin. Continuing on from my backstory of part 1. Hi, this is Mimi. My first time competing in the bikini division was actually what turned out to be my worst extreme case of yo-yo dieting, undereating and overeating. I decided to compete in my very first bodybuilding show and I had no freaking clue what I was doing, so I decided to compete in the bikini division, which was newer at the time because I thought the figure girls were too muscular. I was wrong. And I ended up going to the gym to lose muscle. Since it was my first contest and I thought I actually had a shot, I was pretty damn motivated. I had check-ins with a fitness competitor. She told me my legs were pretty big, especially compared to my upper body, and they should look like pantyhose legs. So running was the way to get them smaller. My mantra for my cardio that kept me going was, skinny bitches and pantyhose legs. I mean, that's seriously what I chanted as I forced myself to do sprints, intervals, and running on an incline. With strict dieting, working out like crazy, and tons of cardio, I was dwindling away. And my cardio machine literally said this. I started at 140 pounds and turned into a skeleton 114 pounds on stage. Needless to say, I didn't win and I did horribly the first time on stage. And I was actually really delusional at the time. I remember thinking, I need to get skinnier and skinnier. And when you see yourself day in and day out, sometimes you just have no idea. That's why it's so important to have a reliable third party. That's why even though I trained myself and I did my own diet for my last bodybuilding show, I still had a coach to make sure I was on track, to have progress check-ins, and to make sure I'm not delusional. I was on a very low calorie diet. 900 to 1,000 calories average. Not realizing I was literally wasting my body away because I was eating too little for my body weight and the amount of activity I was doing. And then after the competition, I ate the world. After the show, I had no strategy in place on how to eat, so I just pigged out. And what made it worse was I was an emotional eater and I just broke up with my boyfriend at the time, so I just drowned myself in food. I also started a new job at that time where they served fresh bagels every morning. Everything bagel, onion bagel, plain bagel, you name it, with butter and a variety of cream cheeses. They also had magically refilling chocolate candy bowls and nuts, so that's what I ate all day for breakfast and lunch. Then I'd go home at night and I'd order takeout. Usually it was boneless barbecue spare ribs combo with pork fried rice and egg roll, or it was chicken salad wrap with waffle fries and ranch dressing. And I'd also down entire cans of cashews. I even told myself if I keep on ordering out every night, I'm gonna go broke. And then ironically, after ordering boneless spare ribs, I get a fortune cookie that said this: warning, do not eat your fortune. I thought, oh my God, this is a sign from God. And I thought it was too hilarious. But even then I couldn't stop. Logic did not help. Little did I know at the time that we're hardwired to be addicted to fat, sugar, and salt in the same way that we can be addicted to drugs. After a week of eating 4,000, 5,000 calories a day of crap, my ankles started to look a little pudgy and it was squishy and my socks were getting tight, leaving this indentation on my skin. And I thought, oh shit, I'm getting fat. I better stop eating so much crap. Then a few days later, my entire foot started just blowing up and I thought, okay, this cannot be normal. And then it slowly crept up my legs, my stomach, my chest, my face, everything but my arms and my hands. I sent the photo of my foot to my doctor, but she was out for Thanksgiving and she told me to go to the ER immediately. I remember the ER very vividly. They stuck a needle in me and said, oh my God, I can't go in. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, yeah, there's too much fluid coming out of your veins. And I was like, what the fuck? But they eventually found a vein and got it in there. And then they did all sorts of tests on me and came back and said, your electrolytes are fine and we can't really seem to find anything wrong with you. There's nothing critical, everything is okay. You can go home now, just follow up with your doctor. Are you serious? Look at me, everything is obviously not okay. And then my doctor also could not figure out what was wrong with me, and she said she's never seen a situation like me before, ever. I gained 33 pounds of fluid in my body in 1 week. And I still went to work. I wore flip-flops because no shoes fit me, and I think I had to find large t-shirts or something. By the end of the day, my legs felt like tree trunks because the gravity would just pull all the fluid down towards my lower extremities. And the best way to describe it is my legs were so stiff, it felt like it would just burst if my skin was not there to hold it in place. So I was advised to keep my feet up during the day so that the fluid would even out through my body and my legs wouldn't get so massively filled with fluid by the end of the day. I mean, it was pretty bad. I remember there was even fluid underneath my toes, my freaking toes. So it hurt to step on it, and walking, yeah. My doctor gave me some LASIX, a diuretic to deflate me. I can't believe I'm even saying that, to deflate. And I didn't realize I was gonna show this to the world, otherwise I would have taken more pictures, but it was kind of depressing. So this is my face after I was half deflated. After I was okay, my cousin asked me, "Why are you smiling in that picture?" I said, "Good question. You know, I have no freaking idea." I actually found an email that I sent when this all happened. And part of it said, "It's fucking depressing as hell. I look horrendous, I'm telling you. I can't look at myself in the mirror too long. I haven't been working out either, more like sporadic, but I feel like I should. I tried to do a one-legged squat and I fell over because my leg was so stiff and full of fluid. Regular squats, I'm fine. Walking uphill hurts like a bitch. Standing, walking is a bit uncomfortable. Going backwards on elliptical was doable. I think part of me is just saying, fuck how I look, just build muscle, feed good shit to my body, and hope that the fluid and fat will all just melt. And voila, LOL. I didn't even remember some of those details, but I do remember one of the worst feelings was nobody knew I had some medical condition, and they just thought I got really fat. I mean, someone even told me they literally thought I was my fat sister. It was the Chinese side of my family that figured it out. I saw them for Christmas, and at first everyone thought I got fat, but then I told them my story and they were like, "Oh my God, we see this happen in China all the time. When the poor folks don't have enough to eat, they get malnourished and they blow up just like you. Except you did it to yourself on purpose." Gotta love family, I swear. I ended up drinking all these Chinese herbal medicinal soups, red rice water, all sorts of stuff. I didn't even know if it was really working, but I drank that stuff every single day. And I think only time really made it all go away. It took 4 depressing months. I never fully figured it out until months later from a super smart, scientific, awesome dude, Martin Berkhan, that writes for a fitness magazine in Sweden. Excessive dieting and restricting calories can lead to dizziness, depression, digestion problems, growth issues, and edema, which is the medical term for water retention. Water retention is actually very common, so that's why sometimes you're dieting for weeks and you see no progress on that scale, and then whoosh, all of a sudden you lose a few pounds. I had a really extreme case. I was basically starving myself and did not get enough nutrition to feed my body, so it depressed these pumping mechanisms within my cells that keep excess water and salt out. My cells deteriorated and the distinction between in and out was lost. There was no water balance and my body just got flooded with excess water and salt. The other cause was because of a shift in sodium balance, which is the most common reason people hold water. But it's not just about consuming a lot of salt, it's more about deviating from what you normally eat. So the last few days of competition prep is basically 0 sodium. And then after that, I ate a lot of junk, which has a lot of sodium, and I ate a lot of it. I had a very dramatic shift, which resulted in my 33 pounds of fluid gained in a week, along with my severe undereating for the 12 weeks prior. The process of how I've overcome yo-yo dieting and changed for the better is not a quick video. So I'm going to create a mini series, but it should only take a month, and I'll do it in a way that each video will have takeaways that you can use after watching it. I'm going to be sharing my real stories to illustrate the points, so it will be about weight loss. However, the great thing is everything I'm going to share can apply to other goals like muscle building or any goals, really. I will say that fear is one of our strongest human emotions, and I'm afraid of ever going down that path again. We're all driven by going away from something we fear or going towards something we want. I've learned so much and have really come a long way. Feel free to check out my channel's About tab for my bio. I believe in living what you preach, and not to get all philosophical, but I do believe that everything happens for a reason and we grow because of it. I'm also huge on the idea that thoughts become reality and that we're ruled by what we choose to believe, so that's why I'm also really into quotes. And here's another fortune I saved and one that I believe in. Happiness is greatest when you contribute to the happiness of others. I have proudly reached all of my major goals in my past, and I ask myself, what's next? What are my skills and how can I contribute given everything that God has given me? Health and fitness is definitely my passion and what I know best. My job currently is not in this industry, but I know that this is my path, and this channel is how I'm starting it. And I trust that it and you will eventually show me where I need to go. So really, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you're part of my journey. And again, my goal is to help you discover those ahas that can change some aspect of your life when it comes to your fitness and eating goals. Feel free to make any comments like, oh my God, what the hell, or whatever else you're thinking. I've never shared this publicly, and I'm sure there's all sorts of mixed reactions. For those who have been watching, this is me today, 1 month after my show. I gained some muscle along with some fat. My abs have disappeared, but my butt grew back an inch, although half of it is fat, I'm sure. The goal is to gain lean muscle mass without trying to get too fat because fat is inevitable. I will be sharing my eating plan, but I will say that I am not a believer in the old school bulking and cutting because I think that's just another form of yo-yo dieting. And plus, who wants to be fat all year just to look shredded for a few weeks? Next Wednesday, I want to do a timely video, so it's going to be about holiday eating. Please subscribe and check out part 1 of my backstory if you haven't already seen it by clicking here. Or check out my intro to my Eat Not Diet channel by clicking here. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter at Eat Not Diet or my other social media at Mimi Bonny. Thanks for watching.